Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta, and we're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. The outrage and anger over the brutal rape and murder of a young 31-year-old doctor in Kolkata's RG Medical College is boiling over. Not just doctors, even ordinary citizens are not relenting till justice is delivered, from Kolkata to Delhi to even London. The anger is palpable against a brutality that has left all of us shocked. Now, the reason this is happening is because there is a deep-seated suspicion that if the pressure falls off, there will be some settling of the case to make it convenient for certain parties. Yes, the case has been transferred to the CBI, but the public in Kolkata has seen so many attempts to somehow twist this case to save the culprits that they don't want to relent. They still don't trust the process. We know that tall promises are made by governments and administrations after a horrific crime is committed, but does anything change on ground? In fact, 13 years after Nirbhaya, the situation is still grim for women. The former principal of RG Hospital, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, is at the CBI office for a sixth round of questioning by the agency. His former colleagues are now coming out in the open with what they allege they saw Ghosh do during his reign. Corruption and complicity are coming to the fore. Did the state government ignore this rot, and are they in any way culpable of trying to hide the rot even after this crime? Now, that's the big question we'll take to our guests in just a bit. First up, let's take a look at the startling revelations that RG insider Akhtar Ali, the former deputy superintendent of the medical college, has made against the former principal Sandeep Ghosh. In an exclusive conversation with CNN News 18, he said that Ghosh ran the hospital like a mafia ram. He also alleged that Sandeep Ghosh took 20% commission for every tender. Ghosh allegedly trafficked biomedical waste to Bangladesh. Ghosh demanded bribes from students allegedly who failed, and to pass them, money was asked for. Sandeep Ghosh sold unclaimed dead bodies is what has been alleged by Akhtar Ali as well. Akhtar Ali had complained about Ghosh in the past to the Anti-Corruption Bureau, but he says Vigilance Department ignored several complaints made by him. He also claims that he was transferred and targeted because, of course, he was speaking out. Now, take a look at the pictures that we're about to run on your screen. These are images accessed by CNN News 18 that show possibly a larger conspiracy could be at play. In these photos, the accused Sanjay Roy is spotted with suspended additional sub-inspector Arup Datta. Yesterday, these visuals went viral. The suspended ASI Arup Datta, the alleged aide, friend of the accused, the one accused that has been charged and of course caught in this case, he was seen running, sprinting to reach the CBI office in Kolkata to duck the media's questions. Reporters could be heard asking if he knew Sanjay Roy. Datta was later questioned by the CBI on Tuesday. Now, why is this man suspended, and why is he under the CBI radar? Now, he's an alleged associate of accused Sanjay Roy. There are, of course, images, as one can see, of the two together. The accused Sanjay Roy used Arup Datta's residence at the 4th Battalion Kolkata Armed Police. He, in fact, Datta arranged a bed for the accused inside the 4 Battalion barracks. Datta helped Roy procure a bike for his daily travel, is what we're learning. And the accused also, importantly, called Datta on August 9. That's the day the body of the 31-year-old junior doctor was discovered. The CBI will continue to question Arup Datta on the call that the accused Sanjay Roy made to him on August 9. Now, what is it that the CBI would try to find out as far as this man's role is concerned? Whether he was involved at all in the destruction of evidence that everybody has been alleging, from the family to the doctors and other protesters in this case. The big question we're asking and taking to our guests tonight: corruption and complicity, that's the charge coming to light against the ex-principal, and just the way that a nexus of people was running this hospital. So did the government ignore this rot? at this Arjikar Medical College? That's coming up with our guests.
Doctors have started, and you can see that a lot of doctors, entire doctor fraternity has come here.
Clear sentiments among the Arjikar community is arrest Sandeep Ghosh, only then we will get a sense of justice.
Have lodged complaint against its principal, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. I have been transferred, I was targeted, I have been harassed in so many ways.
So much scams are there and everyone knows it.
First up, I want to go across to Dr. Rajadhar, Director and Head, Department of Pulmonology, CK Birla Hospitals, one of the protesting doctors joining us. I do thank you for your time, Dr. Dhar. You know, a lot of us are wondering here, the case has been transferred to the CBI. There is clear pressure to deliver fast-track justice. But why do you think doctors in Kolkata, not just at Arjikar Hospital, but across Kolkata especially, are still on the streets as they were yesterday, as they were today? Why do you think this anger is not ending?
I think the problem is that we've not really moved forward. So we've had the crime done now about more than 10 days ago. The case was initially with Kolkata police. Now it's been with the CBI. And we know there's been multiple rounds of questioning. People have been brought over. They've been questioned again and again. But I'm not sure that at least the public knows what exactly has happened in the way of moving forward in this particular case. What information has been obtained in the meantime, and how the things have moved forward from the point where we started off. And I was listening to you talking about the various subplots, you know, how there was rotten Arjikar, etc. So there's a lot of subplots which have come in. But I think it's important for us, the doctors, the entire community now, it's not really a doctors movement anymore, it's the entire community, all of Bengal, all of India, all of the globe which is protesting. It's important to keep our focus on two different issues. A, will there be a justice for this young 31-year-old girl who had not even started her medical career in the way of being a pulmonologist, same fraternity as I am actually, not even started her life and has been brutally raped and killed? What happens to her, her justice? Will her parents get justice for her daughter, only daughter who's been murdered brutally? That's question one. And the other important issue is what happens, how do we get our youngsters, our juniors, our women folk to go and work, do night shifts on a regular basis, shoulder to shoulder with the men, doing work which they do wonderfully well, but cannot do today because of lack of perceived security, not just in Arjikar, which is not an isolated event. There's events happening even today in the suburbs of Bengal, similar events happening where security remains a very big question. So what are we doing for that? You know, there have been laws which have been brought across, these suggested laws that have been brought across, where we say women will not do night shifts. Women will have access to police stations much easier by being able to ring a bell. This is like, rather than wearing a leather shoe, you wrap the world in leather and say that we are going to protect your feet by wrapping the rest of the world around.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So I think it's important to create a system which is secure so that our talented women doctors, women from other professionals, I mean, you are from the media, you work nights it's an insecure environment for every professional woman who goes and works outside. And we need answers for that. The subplots are important.
Yeah.
It's important to find out whether government hospitals like Arjikar indeed have rot setting in or not. But that's the second chapter. The focus should not shift from the main issue, which are two, in my view.
Yeah. But it's interesting what you said. You said we don't know what has happened in the investigation. What more clues have been found for the last 10 days? And I think that's an important point, because what we've also witnessed, Doctor, is that a lot of unverified reports, a lot of untruths are circulating because there's a void of information that is coming directly from the agencies. So do you think it would be a good idea if what crime, in what circumstances, one person, two people, how many culprits, if these details are made available at the earliest by way of a press conference? I know they can't reveal everything in the middle of an investigation, but some regular updates should be given now.
I couldn't agree more with you. I really like what you said. I think the problem is that there's so much of information, misinformation maybe, fake news that's circulating around the media. There's been doctors who've been summoned by the police. Even I was summoned, and then the summon was cancelled later on because of what's been claimed as being fake information circulating. And the reason there's so much of fake information, maybe misinformation, some may be right information, and we cannot tell these apart, is because we are not getting the official version, even the first few steps of what's been achieved with the investigation till date.
Yes.
If we got that official information, I think the fact that people are speculating, they are hypothesizing, that goes into the back burner, and fake news automatically stops, misinformation automatically stops. And we need to travel together. We saw a live telecast of the Supreme Court proceedings yesterday. So similarly, if we had information, we were officially told, this is what we have achieved, this is what's going to happen next. The sanctity of the investigations that are being carried out would be of a much greater magnitude in people's mind.
And it will assuage some of the fears that the public has, because I think the public's fearing that they will not get to know the truth and somehow everything will get brushed under the carpet. I don't want to obviously cast any aspersions on the CBI at this stage, but I come to the crux of what we are witnessing, I think. And I think the problem is that there is lack of faith in the way this case was originally handled by the Kolkata police. Would I be right in saying so? And that has really sparked this anger, which is just not dissipating anymore, even though the Kolkata police in itself is not in charge. But look at what happened when the night protest was happening. Look at what's happening at the hospital still, with some sort of renovation taking place, and just all sorts of things that are happening. Some parallel investigation that the SIT is doing. The party in power is making certain statements. The government is making certain statements. Do you think that trust deficit is the problem here with the police and the administration?
So I think we started off with the crime, which is the most heinous crime I have seen during my lifetime. And then at each step, to call it a suicide to start with, then going over and delaying the first FIR that got filed, then trying to get the postmortem done as quickly as possible. The next step being to try and cremate the body as early as possible. Then going on to what happened on the 14th of this month, when the policeman actually got beaten up, apparently, by a group of 70 hooligans who attacked the hospital, such a large gang of people attacking a hospital with no intelligence information at all. So I think at each step we have seen that there are things which are unexpected by the state, by the administration, by the police, which have come in. And like I said, there's been lots of subplots which are being constructed.
Yes.
And in my view, having these subplots actually deviates your attention from the main issue, about which we have very little or no information about what's happening.
Okay. I leave it at that. Dr. Dar, thanks a lot for joining us and speaking your mind. Certainly the doctors deserve a lot of credit for the way that they have handled these protests, and they've been at it, and they've not allowed them to be hijacked by any party. I don't just mean political party, but any vested groups, and they have not relented as far as the pressure is concerned. Let's also open this up to the rest of the guests joining us. All right, I want to go across to Rochika Agarwal, BJP spokesperson. Saminur Rahman is a TMC sympathizer. Shashikant, former IPS, and Dr. Manoj Kumar, Principal Director, Cardiac Sciences, Max Healthcare, joining us. But before that, and I do request your patience, everybody, I want to go across to Anubhav Mondal, who's the intern at the Arjikar Medical College, who is, of course, one of the protesting doctors. I ran earlier, Anubhav, what we've been told by Akhtar Ali. And of course, his allegations against Sandeep Ghosh are all over the media now. I want to begin by asking you, what more can you tell us about what Sandeep Ghosh was up to?
See, Sandeep Ghosh was totally politically backed. I can say he was totally authoritarian. He used to fail us regularly, and he used to threaten that whoever will not follow the Trinamool Congress or the Trinamool Congress students body, they will be given supply, like fail. They will be failed in their exams, in their final exams, and many of our seniors had their registrations got their registrations were not given to them even after 8 months. The 8 months, which are usually very crucial after the internship. And also he used to do means he had specific student representatives who used to work like his goons, and they used to like threaten the students and organize the students based on fear.
So, were there any attempts to alert authorities against Sandeep Ghosh, and did anyone take notice when these attempts were made?
Yes, we especially I tried many a times. I even when I was ousted out of the of my hostel in 2022 and 2023 January. At that time, I had to go to STSC commission because I was thrown out of the hostel. But still no specific or no action had been taken against them. And there are many others who had their who were failed, who were threatened to get out of the hostel. We had alerted the Tala police station, which is which under which jurisdiction our Arjikar Medical College falls. But still there was no response from their side. They used to tell us that you should only wait for the next steps. But we did not see any step taken against him. And also we complained to the NMC. NMC also registered our complaint, but no response from their side also came.
Right. Anubhav, do you think this rape and murder of the doctor is part of some larger conspiracy in which the principal, ex-principal and others could be involved?
I am sure that he knew about who are the perpetrators because after he was suspended from his duty from the High Court, many attempts had been made to protect him by the state government, by the police. So there may be some conspiracy in this incident.
So you're saying that the principal could be involved in a conspiracy to mislead the investigation. And do you think he was being protected by the police and the state government? You've already talked about how he was a TMC supporter.
Yeah, of course. Like I said that before but even then we had seen that the nearby rooms, the doctor's room, the toilets that are nearby the seminar room, they were destroyed. And when we asked the police, the police who was stationed there to protect the evidence site, they only told us that we don't have any official order. We don't know who did this. Ask the people from the previous shift like this. They tried to when we tried to video the evidence site, they also threw us out because we could have secured some crucial evidence like how the rooms were broken, how the rooms were destroyed, even without any order. And later on, when we went to the PWD office, they told us that they even had no order. So means this is directly from the control of the police, from the principal.
Right. So certainly there's a lot that needs to be deciphered still as far as this principle is concerned, and maybe many ties of this crime will come out of that investigation. I do thank Anubhav for joining us, and I want to go across to the rest of our guests. Thanks once again for your patience. Samin-ur Rahman, this is what is happening. You've got doctors, prominent doctors protesting on the streets in Kolkata. They have no faith in the police or the state government. You've got a student here who's clearly saying that this Sandeep Ghosh was some sort of a party man of the TMC and ran virtually a mafia or a terror reign on behalf of the TMC. How are we supposed to have any faith in the investigation that the TMC-led government was about to do? Yes.
Sorry. The state government has taken swift action in this case. SIT, Special Investigative Team, by Kolkata Police has been formed, and Mr. Sandeep Ghosh, actions have been taken by Kolkata Police, and today I think FIR has been registered by Health Department and Kolkata Police. So the government has nothing to hide. The government of West Bengal is trying its best to render justice to the victim and her family. And it is not the case that doctors and students, they are against the government. Yes, there may be a section, but there is some people, some political propagandists who are trying to fish in the troubled water.
You know, doctors and students are not opposed to the TMC, and I don't think they have any reason to be opposed to the TMC. They're not really running their politics here. That's not the point. The point is that whether they have faith in what the current government and the police administration was doing. I want to bring in Shashikanji in on this, because you look at the sequence of events, you look at what that student was telling me just now. There have been past complaints, there's been a checkered past of this principal. He was running it like a mafia. There was, of course, corruption and corrupt practices involved, as alleged by his former colleagues. All of that is one thing. The main thing is that once the crime came to light, there were attempts to either subvert the reality of the crime or to give it a spin. That can't be denied anymore, Shashikanji. And that's the problem, that nobody has faith in what the government was trying to do initially. Maybe they course corrected in 2 days' time when they realized this is getting out of hand, but not initially. Initially, the reflex action or reaction was to subvert the crime.
Yeah, ma'am, as a former police officer, I'll say it's the classic case of systematic rut that is coming. Talking of this particular institution, I was Googling, it came out that there were so-called suicides earlier also there, 2023, 22, etc. The students who had come, who were 10, and they were all labeled as suicides. Now, in this particular case, I'll start with the CBI. That's again a systematic failure. Whenever there is an investigation, there is a system whereby there's a periodical, they are briefing and with the press and everything that there is a situation, we found this thing, we are moving ahead, of course, without giving out the proper leads. And since it has not come, that's leading out to all sorts of confusion and what we say, WhatsApp University is working overtime and as the violence is coming up, that's their failure. And talking of this particular institution, whatever has happened, like I said, there's so much has happened there, and I'm surprised that nobody took any action. And the police, I say that police unfortunately always remains at the beck and call of their political masters. They tried to hush up the case. First they said it is suicide, then there was a rush up to cremate the body without taking on record the important evidence that might have been there and which has been destroyed there. So I find that it's a shocking case of systematic rot all around. It's a can of worms which has been opened, ma'am. Thank you.
You know, the whole suicide theory in itself actually is a smoking gun, because the body of a suicide victim and the body of a rape and mutilation murder victim cannot be confused with, Rochika. And I think that's where it all started with. But the problem is that there is an insistence to not accept that there was a rot in Arjikar hospital, that he was politically connected to the dispensation of the day, and that is why all of this was allowed for the first 2-3 days before the court transferred the case to the CBI. The government was still asking for a few more days, and people are wondering why were they asking for those days.
Absolutely, Shivani. From day one, rather from the first minute, probably the body was discovered, there's been a major cover-up by the TMC government. From, like you said, from declaring it as a suicide, to the parents not letting meet or see the body of their daughter, and then the delay in registering the FIR, cremating the body at the earliest. You know, there were 2 bodies still in the queue at the cremation ground, but there was a major hush up to cremate this body first instead of the other 2 bodies. They were already in the queue. So there was a major hush up to, clear and finish the evidences as early as possible. And then the major wonder that we see that in Bengal, Health Minister is Mamata Banerjee, Home Minister is Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister is Mamata Banerjee. But what is happening in the initial days itself? The Health Minister Mamata Banerjee, with support of the Home Minister Mamata Banerjee, tries to do a protest against Home Minister Mamata Banerjee. What was happening? Was it trying to make a walk out of it? A body is gone of a doctor, of a resident doctor. Those doctors that we really, it is said doctors Bhagwan ka roop hote hain. So when we call doctors as God, we treat them as God. This is the way we are treating our doctors, the resident doctors, the students. How these doctors have worked 24/7 during the days of COVID, and this is what eventually the doctor, a student, gets in return. And the kind of cover-up Mamata Banerjee is doing.
No, ultimately, it's interesting that you are pointing out to certain statements and certain actions of the Chief Minister. Plus, of course, there are many other in government. Dr. Manoj Kumar, I want to come to you as well. Simple question. Where do you think the buck stops?
This is for me?
Yes, sir.
Actually, Shivani, what I want to discuss here is this violence against doctor is very common in our country, and is not only confined to our country, but at lot of other countries also have. And out of all doctors, 75% of us has either verbal or physical abuse during our medical practice. This is a published data, and most of the this type of incidents has happened in this gynae ward, because female doctors are there, and data is there that the maximum incidents, violence incidents, happened in the gynae obs wards. This is the number 1. But what this happened in RGKR hospital, it is not a medical violence. Shivani, you cannot name it a violence against the health personnel.
Yes.
It is a brutal, horrific incidents. It is a crime which was pre-planned, because this doesn't happen anywhere in the hospital like this. We know that many times there is a conflict between the patient's relatives and doctors, but this incident
This is a totally different crime. This is obviously a sexual crime against women. And Dr. Manoj, it's actually shocking that the perpetrator or perpetrators, we don't know how many were involved still, had the bravado to do this in the seminar hall of a hospital. Can you imagine the kind of mentality they would have? Because clearly they would have thought that they could get away with this.
Yes, because there was no security there. And second, even the crime scene was protected by the Kolkata police. This is a systematic failure of the Kolkata police, that they could not even save the crime site, because crime site was vandalized by these goons, and how the 7,000 in thousand of the people can collect anywhere during any jurisdiction where the police is working, how the 7,000 persons can collect with the hockey sticks and lathis on the road. It is totally unacceptable. So there is something rotten there, and you have to find out who are the accused, who are the people involved in this crime, how they are being supported by any political party or administration, whether the role of the principal or this medical superintendent or anybody who is helping them out. And this is a planned attack on the crime site and on the protester, the medical students. They were helpless. They were, I have seen a lot of things on the social media. They were spreading messages, please save us, we are here. So it is totally unbelievable how a police can function like this. This is also, all these points has been raised by the Supreme Court justices also, that how is possible that a police protected area can be vandalized by some of the gundas.
Or you have no knowledge that the 7,000 people are going to collect. That's an intel failure as well. Now, of course, the charge is that this was deliberately allowed to happen. And this is all happening because there is a certain political line that has divided people. The party in power is worried that its reputation will go down. Therefore, they're trying their level best to scuttle the investigation also that could lead to its members, we don't know, or the protest as well. In fact, the BJP is pointing out to how death threats are being given to those who are protesting at other institutions. Now, we can't verify that individually, but these are the allegations coming in. And, you know, that, Saminur, just gives you a sense of what's happening in West Bengal. This is not the first time. We've seen victim brutalization, political violence, threatening of victims, and basically an atmosphere of fear at the hands of TMC or its connected, people, those who are known as strongmen or mafia on ground. This has happened case after case.
No, the problem you are mentioning is not limited to West Bengal. Crime against women in India, we know the figure, and I am just mentioning NCRB 2021 statistics. Delhi is the city, the highest number of rape incident happened, and Kolkata, among the metropolitan cities, has the least number of rape. So,
are you justifying it?
No. I am not. I am just saying that violence against women and rape, this is a social disease and social evil in our country.
Saminur, but that's not the point I was making. I'm talking about the atmosphere of fear, threat, and victimization of those who even want to speak up. That's not a pan-India issue, I'm sorry to say. Of course, crimes against women is our collective responsibility and our collective problem pan-India. But there is a deliberate attempt to silence some in West Bengal that is coming to light case after case.
No, the state government from the first day has said that the government does not have any problem in CBI inquiry. Clearly, the government stated. And the CBI has taken the case, and in the case, the CISF has been allotted to Govt Medical College, and West Bengal government lawyer did not object.
Both decisions of the court, not decisions of the state government. But I want to go across to Rachika to respond to what the TMC supporter is saying.
So, the way police has been working in this particular case, we've seen it very well. And the police has been trying to cover up not just the entire issue and not just the brutal rape and murder, but they are also against people who are writing about the incident on social media. They are sending legal notices to all the people who are posting on X. They are forcing to delete the tweets. They are forcing them to delete their account, and not just normal people, as in people who are sad about the entire incident, who are shocked about the incident, who are frustrated with what is happening in Bengal. They are also after journalists and they are after social activists also. They forced people to delete tweets, whoever is writing against Mamata Banerjee and the working of the Bengal police. And not only that, I can show you this tweet, Shivani. This tweet is by one of the MPs of a state where we have a female chief minister. This tweet is by Mahua Mitra, and the way she is written, she is talking about the case wasn't that grave. The torture that the girl had gone through wasn't that grave, and the people should stop spreading fake news. This is the mentality of the TMC members, the parliamentarian Mahua Mitra. She wrote, Archikar autopsy in presence of judiciary magistrate and 3 doctors show no fracture to pelvic girdle and other bones. 150 gram refer to weight of inner and outer genitalia, not to imaginary fluid of amount of fluid. Does not suggest multiple assailants. This is what she is written.
No, the point is that we are all in favor of correct information coming out. I am not in favor of incorrect information, misinformation, or, information that may rile up anger. But politically speaking, if you make big deal out of cases in other states where other parties are ruling, you go and, visit victims or their families and you raise a hue and cry, there is a certain amount of accountability that will be required from you and sensitivity that will be required from you when it happens in the state that you belong to and represent. That's all that I can say. I do leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. But do take a look at these reports. Listen in to the protesting doctors and others from Kolkata. This will give you a sense of just why this case can no longer be brushed under the carpet.
Like to show you again that this is the huge rally. This is the huge rally which the doctors have started, and you can see that a lot of doctors, entire doctor fraternity has come here. We have with us one nurse who is from Arjikar, and she is now scared to stay in Arjikar. Let's talk to her, and then I'll definitely answer your question. Now, are you scared, and what have you complained?
Yeah, of course, we all are scared until the culprits are arrested and they are identified. Until they are identified and their identification are revealed, we are scared.
She's a scared person, scared nurse, and this is the line. You can see that the entire doctors they are standing in a line, and they will start the rally now. It's already started. As far as Sanjay Rai is concerned, what the Kolkata police sources told us that Sanjay Rai is a person who was a pervert person. A lot of porn stuff was recovered from his mobile and all these things. But right now, CBI is doing investigation, and there also whether he has confessed or not, that still is not clear. But definitely they are trying to question Sanjay Rai in every way so that the truth comes out. Again, would like to show you that this is the doctors who are actually doing the rally, and they are. Why are you doing this rally today? Why are you doing this rally today? They are all standing in a line, and they will march towards all with posters and everything, and they will march towards. आप लोग यहाँ पे आज क्यों हैं?
हम लोग आज प्रोटेस्ट के लिए हैं कि
आप डॉक्टर हो?
नहीं हम TMC नर्सिंग स्टूडेंट।
आरजीकर का हो? क्या डर लगता है अभी?
डरने से कुछ नहीं होगा, हमको लड़ना चाहिए।
आप लोग मार्च कर रहे हैं सीजीओ कॉम्प्लेक्स से। Where are you from? What's your demand?
So I am from Kolkata, Shodhpur. Right now I am from Arjikar. Our demand is justice for her and give punishment for all the criminals. We want justice and we want to stop people who have power is trying to hide those criminals. We want to stop that. We want to invite them to join us and to give the give the criminal what they deserve.
When you say that you want justice, Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of RG Kaur, is his detention, his arrest also part of your call for justice?
Yes, of course, because I don't know. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 days till CBI calls him for interrogation, but I don't see why they can't get any evidence against him till now to get them in detention till now. So I don't think so. He has done several criminal offense after the day occurrence of the day. So I don't see why CBI still now got the power to get him detained and do the investigation. I don't see.
Are you a doctor as well?
No, I'm a final year student.
You are a final year student. Last time when doctors decided to protest outside RG Car, we saw the kind of vandalism that happened. Were you not concerned this time? Was your family not concerned when you decided to join the protest?
Obviously they were concerned, but we can't sit at home doing nothing. I don't want to sit at home feeling restless and helpless when I could be here, contribute to the crowd, contribute to the people's voice. So it doesn't matter.
But we have no choice. But it's a do or die situation now. You can't just go off to duty and then be killed. This is not acceptable. It could have happened to any of us. So, and the way the administration is trying to cover up and trying to block the investigation, it is unacceptable.